Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How is it going? Chat box, chat. Oi, where's the chat group? Nope. Interesting. That's a different chat box. Let's see if I can figure it out. Hello everyone. Welcome to another stream. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm going to double check if all the titles in all the platforms seem to be good. That's good enough. And there we go. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. And let's have a look at LinkedIn as well. Wait, what was that sound? It was not in my headphones. Let's see if I can set my things correctly. Right, test 1, 2, 3. They look good. I'm gonna quickly look into other things as well. How's everyone doing? How's everyone's weekend? Okay, where are you? I'm gonna also open the stream we will be looking at the moment. youtube.com. See if I can make this right. Here we go. Let's have a look. That's not the one. This is the one. Angular. Let's open this one.
Hey everyone, and welcome
to I'm gonna turn the camera a bit. How's it going, everyone? And let's also open Chevy says good, not too bad. Good. Also have to see this one thing that I shared from I don't think I shared that, but I think it was still in the chat. I don't know if I can see the chat live chat replay open panel. Here it should be. All right, let's go. But I have to go into the video to see the chat. And there we have it. A whole builder. I think this is perhaps the one. Gen-kit Angular Storyteller. So we're gonna start running this. I was watching this stream that was done by Mark and Devin, and I really found it interesting because I've been looking forward to having some agentic AI applications in Angular at least, but that has not been the case for quite a lot of time. But it seems like we have it now. So I'm really interested in looking into, how this is done. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna quickly double check what my editor has at the moment, so I don't really expose any environment variables that I should. Yeah, I'm gonna close that. I don't like it. And then let's also open warp. We're gonna take it from there. If I accidentally show the env variables, I'm gonna be like, we don't want that. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, there we go. Let's quickly close this guy. Let's quickly close this guy as well. And we can start with the terminal. We're going to follow this video to some extent, and we'll also look into the code base as well to see how the Agentic AI stuff is being done in the tutorial that we have here. So feel free to follow along, or feel free to just go and watch the video itself. I'm going to try to make sense of it as I'm trying it out. And then I'll share my thoughts and opinions on this one. But the early opinions that I had were that this looks great. I'm gonna try one thing really quick because I can't see the chat. So let's see if I can make this a bit better. Chat widget, filters. I can't fix it. Let's see if I can. No, I can't. I'm gonna try to shrink this down so I can see your messages. So Muhammad Afan says, Assalamu alaikum Ahsan bhai, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So let's actually start with cloning the examples repository, and we are going to take it from there. So this is the link to the repository. We're gonna try to start by cloning this. So let's see if I can. I'm gonna look into if they are their own. I'm assuming they're their own folders. Yeah, we're gonna still clone the whole repository. By the way, how's everyone's weekend going? Trio7, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Let's quickly do this. I think a lot of you who are actually watching the stream are pretty new still. And new as in you've probably come from the Angular tutorial. So let's quickly open the examples repository. So cursor, examples. I think actually, I think we should probably open just the example folder that we have. But let's see. So let's not rush too much. So we got these examples here. We have app hosting YAML right here. So this one tries to, okay, so it tries to take the variable Gemini API key. Okay. Then what does the other one do? So we got Firebase JSON here as well. That's empty. The README is essentially what we are looking at. Do we need to have anything special for the Gen-kit stuff? Gen-kit with Angular starter kit. Trio7 says, yeah, I'm new to front end. Okay, cool. How long have you been working with front end so far? Adil, hey, hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I think we can just open the story Angular, Gen-kit Angular story generator. I think this is probably the end result of it. I'm gonna double check. So let's see. Gen-kit app, agent chat. We got the agent chat right here. Okay, so we started with the service here. Let's have a look at story generator. This one has image. This one has a story component. This one has a user input component. Okay. This was in two weeks ago. Okay. And then we have this guy here as well. Okay. I'm gonna also see if they had any branches because I missed that part. We all branches. It's only the main branch. Trio says 5 months since you have started coding. That's nice. What kind of applications do you work with? Is it a sort of a project, or is it a product that you're working with? How does it work? So for the sake of sanity, I'm actually gonna open the Angular Gen-kit Angular starter kit. Starter kit. Have we opened the other one already? No. So we're gonna start with that, and we'll see where that takes us. The starter kit. And you can give me ideas on what we can build. Okay. So let's open this. And I'm very new to the Gen-kit sort of scene, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing here, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. So migrating to NX. No, not at the moment. I'm going to quickly go ahead with npm install. Adil says, what are the best practices and important aspects I should be aware of when developing a real world application? It depends on who you are building it for. Who are you building it for yourself, for practices, or are you building this as a software as a service to sell someone, or how? Who are you building it for? Or are you building it for your company? It depends what kind of aspects, because there's no unique answer to this. Sorry, I'm just checking some messages. Okay. So now that we have installed it, let's see example screenshot. Let's quickly remove that. What does this look like? Hi. Okay, so it's all right. So it's an agent. We got the package JSON here. Let's have a look at the README itself. So preview to the side. Let's see. So here it says this repository contains everything you need to create an application using Gen-kit with Angular to build your next great application. This example demonstrates how to use Gen-kit flows to create a persistent chat session with an agent. Interesting. However, you can use the same patterns in this repository to create an application that runs any arbitrary Gen-kit flow. We're gonna open Gen-kit flow as well, which leverage full Gen-kit API. Okay, I'm gonna click the learn more as well so we can see both of them. How to get started. In order to run this, you need Node.js. I have already installed it. Get an API key from AI Studio. We're going to do that as well. After you have created an API, set the Gemini API key environment variable in your key with, Gemini API key environment variable to your key with the command export Gemini, Okay. So we're only setting this in the console at the moment. Okay. Clone this repository, download the code local machine, cd into the, I think this should be probably the first step. Or I mean, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Then you cd into the root folder, Gen-kit Angular starter kit. Alrighty, install the dependencies, done that, and then serve the application. Explore and build. The application uses server-side rendering to demonstrate how to add integrate Gen-kit flow into the Node.js Express server that Angular uses to render content. This is actually a really nice thing that we could have some tutorials on. What do you think? If you had to build an application with Gen-kit or AI workflows, what kind of application would that be? I'm open to comments. Right in the chat. So we have the flow is defined in the flows or flow name chat flow demonstrates how to use persistent chat session to return a response from an agent, as well as several options to the user can choose from if applicable. This application also demonstrates how to use of Gen-kit tools. Okay, we're gonna also look into that as well. Now this is becoming interesting. The client calls the route from agent service TS using the run flow helper method. Okay, we're gonna have a look at that as well. Looking for inspiration. I think he probably just added it like yesterday or something. Let's see. No, 2 weeks ago. No. Where was it? Here. Devin, when did you add it? Last week. Okay. So the story generator. Okay, makes sense. The Gen-kit developer UI is a local web app that lets you interactively work with the models. Okay, so we're gonna start now. We're gonna first go try a AI girlfriend. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. That's a bit tricky one. Even if I would love to do so, I would probably not do it. Or yeah, I think that's also questionable if I would love to do so. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I would probably the only thing I think that could be interesting apart from what I'm doing right now is to have someone real. But yeah, not AI. So what do we think? We can start with the with getting the API key. So I'm gonna actually go to aistudio.google.com. I'm gonna go to get an API key, and then we are going to basically pick a key. Okay, so you can go to aistudio.google.com /API key and then basically generate the key there. I'm gonna quickly copy my key here, and then we're gonna go and paste that. So we're going to go to our terminal and we are going to export that as suggested in the README. So here we have export Gemini API key. So export Gemini underscore API underscore key equals, and then we paste our API key. So we're going to quickly do that. Let's clear this guy and also copy something so I don't have that thing again on my clipboard. And now what we can do is we can essentially go ahead with running this. So if I do npm start, it should run npm or ngserve, and then we should be able to see what this looks like. And this is going to be we can also look at what kind of model does it use. View command palette, editor layout, blah blah blah. Where's me explorer? Control Shift E. Okay, so command Control B hides it, Control Shift E opens it. Interesting. Okay, it's already in use. What am I running at the moment? That's weird. Less off. I TCP 4200. What am I running at the moment? LSOF doesn't work, of course. Pretty sure I'm running some sort of. Can I try this with warp? LSOF? Nah. Doesn't work. What is the command in Windows to kill the process? Kill process on a port in Windows. Up. Is this the one? Oi. Okay, that's the one. And then what do we do? Task kill /PID. Task kill /PID. And then we have, I think this is the PID. I think so. Is this the one? No. This the one? This the one? I think this the one. Invalid argument option. What? Task kill /PID, and then, oh, there's an F as well. PID. What did I miss here? Task kill /PID 3740. Okay, I think the problem here is, wait a second. Task kill PID port number F. Isn't that what I've just written? Or can I do F? Okay, let's see. Task kill. So this is what you should be doing. Task kill, PID, and then T. Isn't that what I just did? Or did I miss something? Let's have a look. We got a bunch of other processes as well. Invalid option F. Invalid option PID. What are you talking about? Aha, forcefully terminating. So can I just do this then? Invalid argument. Sorry. Is that because of git bash or what? Oh, this does it. So at least warp makes it work. The other one doesn't. Okay, let's try this again. So we have this guy who's running it and this guy who's running it also. So Okay, so that one is terminated now. Let's see if I can try. Okay, so nothing is working there. Good. Let's try running now. So I want to have a look at the code as well. So here we have defined the express handler. I think this is, yeah, this is something that I saw in the last stream as well. So let's quickly check localhost 4200. Oh, I was running the pulse checker one. That's why. Close that. Close that as well. And close this as well. Alrighty. So this is my chat with agent. Do I ask it some questions or what's happening here? The server responded with an error or status of 500. Why is that? Please pass in the API key or set the Google GenAI API key or Google API key in the environment variable. And did I do that before? Give me 1 second. Oh, I started a new terminal. That's why. Okay, give me 1 second. Was it Google API key? Export. No, it says Gemini API key, but the so maybe they have an issue here. Okay, so have a look at this. I think that's probably a mistake. So here it says Gemini API key, right? But the error says something different. It said, what was it? Says something else. If I try to search this in the project, I don't see it apart from a README. So if I do Google API key, I don't see it. If I say GenAI, I don't see that as well. If I go to the page and refresh here, let's see what happens. So here we see some different error. It's like saying Google GenAI API key or Google API key. So not Gemini API key. So they're different. Maybe yeah, I can probably create a PR for this. Let's see. Angular examples. Maybe already someone did it. Yeah, here we have it. Yeah. Yep, someone followed it. Okay, good. So here we can set this particular variable. Export. And then I can paste my variable inside here. So give me 1 second. Copy, paste, clear, npm start. Alrighty. All right, let's see. Tuk Mark. Hello, Ahsan bhai. Hello. How's it going? Okay, so we see now that the application works. So we got this here. Hi there. How can I help you today? Get the date and type. Write a poem. Tell me a joke. Let's see. We say write a poem. Okay, I can write a poem. What should the poem be about? What should be the poem about? I'm gonna type what Trio said. Yeah, I confirm maybe. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not able to create content of that nature. Is there something else that I can help you with? Sorry, dude. It feels like you're gonna be without that, so to say. Dr. Mark says, "Kaise ho?" Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Aap batao, aap kaise ho? Let's go with a joke, right? I think there's a setting of safety there, maybe. About why the chicken crossed the road. Maybe like that, right? Let's see. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Boring. Okay, sorry, didn't like that one. How about this one? Why don't scientists trust atoms? Interesting. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Why not? Because they make up everything. Okay, not too bad. Good. So we have at least something that works. I'm interested in seeing how that works now. So let's dissect the code a bit. So we have here a component which seems to be pretty simple. That's nice, actually. So we have here, which should not be simple, of course. Ooh, now we have a problem. Why do we have 4 spaces here? Disqualified. Tribe says AI jokes at peak. You're making your own AI? No, I'm not making my own AI. I was seeing a YouTube stream by the Angular team, which is this one, and they went through an application which is like this, and they shared a link which I'm exploring right now. So I'm looking at the basic version of what they built, essentially. All right, so the agentic service, is that too complex? Let's have a look. So we have the user's input, okay. Then we have a session ID. This is, I think, something I saw on the stream as well. Only set this on the initial script. Note, for demonstration purpose only, use a security practices for managing sessions. Okay. So we got the agent resource dot value. If it's there, then we use it. Otherwise, we start with an empty string. Kind of makes sense. Then we have the agent response or previous. If we have a previous value, if we don't have a previous value, we just start with a date.now plus empty string plus a random value. Okay. Then we have otherwise we use the previous value if it already exists. If we want to clear the session, we essentially go ahead and we set to true on initial request, otherwise false to preserve the session. Okay. Okay. Kind of makes sense. Okay. Then we have the chat here. The chat is also a linked signal. So whenever the session changes, it probably should reset it. So here we have the agentic response or the agent response. If the agent response is empty from the agent, then we use the previous value. And then we also send the user input as a request, or essentially we get it from here. Okay. Kind of makes sense. Update chat from user. So we get the user input, we create a chat item, and then we update the chat item with whatever the user has said. Kind of makes sense as well. Now this chat item, what does it do? It just generates a new ID and then takes the role and then the text. Okay. That's not too complex, actually. Okay. That's not too complex, actually. So this makes sense. I'm also interested in seeing the result that comes out, but we'll go there as well. Give me 1 second. Now we have the app config here and route source server here. So the home page is client. Okay. So it's rendered on the client. Trio says this could be used to search for a specific item in large applications, maybe. I don't understand what you mean by that. Do you mean the agentic app itself? I'm not really sure. No, I think it depends on what kind of questions you're asking this agent, because this runs on the, I think, let's have a look at the model. I think we're using Gemini 2.0 Flash. Yeah, here. So we're using the Gemini 2.0 Flash here. So this model is a generic model. It's not a fine-tuned specific model. So if you ask it a question, it would answer based on the data it has been trained on. So you cannot ask it question about a specific application or about a specific genre or niche, so to say, which is specific to a business. For example, if this was built for KFC, Gemini probably wouldn't be able to answer the latest and the greatest information from KFC, like who are my employees working in X or Y city, because it doesn't have that information. So not by default, it wouldn't be able to answer those questions. But still, I think the flow could enable some stuff. But you would have to do additional stuff to make it context aware, so to say. I'm also going to set something. Sorry, I just saw that we got a message from Twitch. So twitch.tv CodewithAhsan, because for some weird reason, or I can set it from here. Give me 1 second. Twitch. Edit, like category, software and game development. I don't know why it doesn't really set sometimes my Twitch stuff. Anyways. Noman Ahmed says, Assalamu alaikum Ahsan bhai, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing, Noman? You good? So let's have a look at the flows.ts. So this is actually the juice of the whole implementation. Shahzeeb Zain, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. So this is the juice of the Gen-kit. So here we have chat, Gen-kit and session, right? Then we have Gen-kit AI / Google AI. We're essentially working with the Google models here, right? So what does it do here? So it starts with creating a Gen-kit, okay? It uses Google AI as a plugin, which probably enables the models. And then we take the model, which is Gemini 2.0 Flash. Then it creates, then it has a session variable. I do remember them saying that they were using some sort of JSON session for the ease of implementation, but let's see what this does. So we define the tool for AI, and then we say this is the get date time. So it's a tool that basically gets the date and time. So here gets the current date and time, output schema z.string. Okay. Here we would typically make an API call or database query. For this example, we just return the date and time. Okay. Then it says current time is this and formatted time. Okay. So here, just like they have created a get date and time tool, I could actually create a tool for an API call from my backend or a database query to provide this more information. So this part, Trio 7, this could be what you're asking. So if this Gen-kit had a question and you involved this tool, which could make a query to your application's backend or fetch information here from the database directly, if you allowed it, then this is where you would essentially have that information, which is interesting. Anyways, now we have defined a flow to execute. You can call any flow using this pattern, such as those that use generate to generate text or images outside the context of a chat session. Okay, so here now we have a different flow. So this is the date time flow. Okay, and this is the chat flow. If we look at here, when we started the application, I'm going to restart it again. Now here you can say there are some options. So get the date and time, and then this gets the date and time. Does it get the date and time? What happened? Where's my response? 500 internal error. What? Is empty. What is empty? I'm pretty sure there would be an error for this as well. Not Ahsan. Wait. Angular examples. Close the wrong chat. Pull requests. Stack blitz. So we have another issue here, right? Non-streaming request failed with an error is empty. Let's see why that happens. Oh, did my son come back? Give me 1 second. Nope. Okay, so what happened with this one? Let's see. Nope, doesn't work. We can fix that. Noman says, when can we expect a new beginner-friendly course or tutorial to be released? Which tutorials have you seen already? Have you gone through the Angular crash course and have you gone through the web dev basics so far or not? And let's have a look at the chat here. Sorry, the code. So this one failed where we got the datetime one, right? Here it says get datetime, get the string, output schema. Now in here, I don't really see any blocker for this. Why does this one fail? Hook said, bro, I mailed you. Have you checked it? Could you tell me what kind of mail was it about? When did you send it? What was it about? I'm not really sure which email you're talking about. But let's have a look at this here as well. So we got app resource here. It uses the endpoints, sends the session ID and clear session. I think we could have something in the server TS. Server TS. So here we have it, right? So we got the express handler here. I don't think we have anything else here. No, we don't. We have, no, this is not the same. So express handler is here. In here, it has a context provider, close port, non-streaming request failed with is empty, parse JSON. Yeah, I have no clue why this one says, let's see, is empty. No, I don't see that. Let's also have a look at the, give me 1 second. I want to have a look at the chat, and I want to have a look at what sort of data am I sending there. So give me 1 second. And I don't also want to show the API call here. Okay, so let's have a look here. So the payload that we sent here had data, session ID, and clear session equals to false. Okay. And this is the response that we got. Da, 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 da. I don't see any problem with the code itself, but I don't know if the live stream addresses this. Let's have a look. Because I could not see the final output of the whole thing. Nope. Okay, so I don't really know what could cause this issue on the chat flow. Maybe what we could do still is debug this. So let's have a look at here. So if I don't know if we can actually. So we got a server chat flow. Oh, here it is. So we have the chat flow here. Now this says it has to be object, input schema, user input, session ID, clear, and then output is this one. And then we have all of this. Can we put a console log here and see if that, oops, and if that comes up? So console log, user input, session ID, and clear session. I want to see all of them at least here. So here now we got an empty one, clear session true as well, right? Now let's try this again. If I say get the date, now in here it says get the date and time, got the session ID, but then clear session is false. But I don't see the output. Aha. If JSON string.trim was empty, then it sets back the empty string. Hmm. The email came from the name Carrie, then reply me. Do you want me to check it now? If I search Carrie, I have like, I don't know, 200 emails. Do you have another keyword that I can try to find? Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong place or the wrong email. Carrie, Carrie. Carrie Minati. Is that the name? No, not in the stream. Yeah, that's not even your real name. So I'm not really sure if I should be responding or not. So maybe not. All right, let's move ahead. So here, if I say user input hi, so this is not clear. So clearly this is not the issue, right? So we create the session, we update the messages, and then we come here. Let's have a look at, let's do the, what do you call it? The nice little debugging here. So let's add some logs here. So here we can say, console log, creating chat with tools, just to make sure that we have everything in there. Then we have here, before sending chat, and here now we can say parsing, before parsing markdown, right? So we got this guy. And let's see if this one works well. Yeah, but Hooks, you have not even shared your name, and that's a long message, and I don't know what you're trying to say there. So could you write with actually your name? Because I don't think I want to respond to a name that I know is not real. So let's try with get the date. So here it actually goes to before parsing markdown. So it comes to all this point here. Let's also add the text here so we can see what happens. I'm gonna try this again. Get the date and time. Send this. So here, before parsing markdown, it actually doesn't have anything in the text, right? Let's also try this. So we got prompt, and we got text here. What do we get back from this? So we get the, what is the response here? Let's say if I go ahead and change this to response, and here I say const text or equals response. So if I go here, I say text. What do I have? Status? Do I have a status? No. What do I have in the response? Generate response, any. I also want to see the response as well. So let's do it like this. Okay, so what do we got here? That's the prompt though. Let's actually pass that as an object so we can see those things. Okay, so we got the text here, which is a JSON in this case. How can I help you? Blah, blah, blah. And we have that. I'm going to quickly change my camera's battery. Now, what happens when we actually try the other thing? So here, let's have a look. So here, what do we have? So generate response to message is message, model, metadata undefined, parser undefined. Okay. Finish reason unknown. Finish message undefined. Hmm. Hmm. Let's remove the prompt so we can actually see what's going on. So we got the text here and the response, right? Now let's have a look at the response again. What was the text now? So the text was empty in this case. And the finish reason was unknown. What was the finish reason the first time? So here it was stop. Here it was unknown. Finish message is undefined. Here finish message was undefined. Okay. Candidates. There are some candidates. Uses meta object. Here we do have something, right? Let's have a look at response dot custom, and then we stringify it. So response is gonna be JSON. I'm hoping that it doesn't. Wait, what is this? Sorry, response dot. Is it response dot message, and then response dot custom, and then candidates? I can't seem to custom. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Refresh. Okay, so we got the candidates here. Now let's have a look at the get date and time. So now we have candidates has a content nothing finish reason malformed function call. Malformed function call. Interesting. Why is that? Why is that a malformed function call? So defining a workflows. Let's say tool or define tool. That's not the one. This should be the one. So here we have get weather. Okay. That does this. Here we would make an API call, blah, 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 and we return a fixed value. Here we have get weather, which is there. Okay, let's have a look. Why does that fail? If I go to flows again, let's try the flow with, and let's also try that this works with the regular one. So here, if I say write a poem, then it responds back, right? So in this case, it does work, but with the get date and time, it doesn't really work. So in here, we have the input schema, and then we also have the output schema in the chat flow. And then we have the define tool. Let's have a look at the define tool here. So the define tool here has name, description, input schema, and then output schema. So then this one does not have to, The name, description, and input schema parameters are required as it says here, right? I think probably this is what's missing, actually. I think this is what's missing. We're gonna remove this guy, and we're going to try this again. Okay. Let's see. We go here. We say refresh. We say get date and time, and it fails again. Now it says is empty. But that's the response. Malform function call. Finish reason is this. And there could be multiple reasons for this, but does it come even here? Console.log, sending back function call response, and then we essentially do this as well. Let's see. If I do the same thing here, creating chat with tools before chat, blah, blah, blah. No, so it never goes to the function call at all, which means that the define tool using or to define that the date and time is not accurate. So we got, all right, let's have a look at this one. So we got an input schema here with Z object, user input, session ID, clear session. And this is the chat flow. I think it could be yeah, I don't know, or not 100%, but let's see. Output schema is Z string in this case. Let's try this actually. I'm going to try from the documentation. Let's try to do that. So I'm going to actually do it like this. Okay. Then where do we use these? Are we exporting these just? Yeah, we are just exporting this. So we got get weather here, right? So let's try the get date time. Where is it used? Flows. Here, here. Creating chat with tools. So here we do add get date time and then get weather as well. So your general purpose, blah, blah, blah. If the user asks for date and time, call a tool to get the date time. Here also we can say, or actually date and time, or you can also say like this, weather, call the tool to get the weather. Okay. Let's see if the AI Gen-kit automatically does that. So now we have here, we have some options, date and time, weather. If I go with weather, okay. London. I think now it failed probably because it just said, I'm gonna get it, but it did not really get the data. Okay, then I'm not really, then I don't understand it correctly so far. Let's have a look at this, how this is constructed. So we got user input equals to hi. Okay. Chat session. It generates the get date time, which is here. So when we do here, get the date and time, write a poem, tell me a joke. Where does this poem come from? There's nothing. Joke. There's nothing there as well. Interesting. What happens if I don't use this one? How does it translate a sentence, write a poem? Okay, so it just sends back different responses here. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we also have this here as well. That's why. All right. So now it doesn't, because the prompt as essentially had it. Write a poem, some right. Okay, that kind of makes sense. So in here, then we add the date and time, right? Then we also should have the weather, get date time, get the weather. Okay. And when I do this, I can also go here and say it like this, right? Get weather. And then I can repeat the thing here. So if we do it for weather, then get the weather. Okay. Now let's have a look at here. So get the weather, get the date and time, something else. So if I do this, hit this, now it asks me for location. I would say Karachi. Okay, now what does this do? So here now you also see that this also fails. Malform function call. Let's have a look at this. So Gen-kit or Firebase Gen-kit malform function call. I don't see that here. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the output schema is the culprit. Because in here we have the express handler that has a chat flow. The chat flow says it's going to have this input schema and this output schema, right? So agent response having a string and then options as well. Okay, I want to have a look at the malform function call. Yes. So why does that happen usually? I'm seeing this with Gemini 2.0 Flash. It seems like you cannot have both function call and return type on the same call. Okay. Okay. I see this happening with complex tools. Gemini just cannot handle it. We okay. Hmm. Regarding the root cause spec, there might be a parser bug defect in the Google infrastructure. Okay. But I can at least create the issue to try it out. Hmm. Okay, let's actually create an issue so we don't spend too much time on it. New, not pull request actually, but issues. Can I create issues here? No. No. Okay, so we have, but then maybe I can reach out to Devin for contributing or to create or to getting the issues. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are we also sending the response? So agent response, respond with your answers. Then we have the prompt here. Then we are also parsing it as well here. And then we have the markdown here. Okay. Where does this parse come from? Parse. It comes from partial JSON. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What if I use some other model? If I use something like, I don't really want to use, I mean, 2.0 Flash, I think is the best we could do at the moment. Could it be the reason that we can't really use the output schema being string? I'm gonna actually remove this. I'm gonna try this again. So let's see if I can get weather. Karachi. No, it doesn't get it. So we get the same issue with is empty. Okay, then I'm gonna note it down. I think there's no going around or fixing it. I just have to reach out to them and tell the get weather thingy is not working. So get date does not work. But then the question is, if so that means we can't really use any tools at all. But then how is the other example working? Shall we try that out as well? Let's try that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out from there. And then we go to Gen-kit Angular story generator, right? And then we say npm install. And then we are going to run that application to see if that actually works. Because I'm pretty sure the other project has some flows implemented there as well. It could be that the starter project has a problem, but not the other one. Let's see. I'm going to do npm start all right, so let's see. I like it fancy. Okay, so we got some error here as well. If I refresh now, description flow, probably the same issue. Okay, unable to detect the project ID. I think that's because we are using vertex in here. Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. Console.google. Google Cloud Console. Cloud.google.com. Give me 1 second. I'm going to quickly try to get the ID of my project. I'm gonna also open this into its own cursor as well. Let's see. Okay, that's taking a lot of time. That's gonna be a bummer. I was thinking about actually creating talk around it. That would have been interesting. Let's see. This is working. Let's see if the app opens. What is the URL? Is it console.cloud.google.com? Okay, maybe I can go there directly. console.cloud.google.com. My internet seems to be a bit slow, or my PC either. I like the UI. I think it only sends the request once as well. But yes, we need the Google API key, and let's have a look at the README. So the README says, wait. Okay, so uses Angular Gen-kit, blah, 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 and then getting the API key. So we set the Gemini API key here. And then using this to use Vertex AI features. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. Give me 1 second. I don't know if this is working actually. I did had the Google Cloud thingy before, but I'm not sure if it works now. Okay, so it asks me for my login. I can allow it. And then I can also go to aistudio.google.com and copy an API key. So copy this from here, close it, go back. And then I can say export Gemini underscore API underscore key equals, and then this. All right, so now I can restart my project. Hisham says, sir, what is your WhatsApp number? Please send me. Why do you need the WhatsApp number, by the way? If I go here now and refresh, it should be working, I think. No, so we still are missing something. I think we are still missing the project ID, right? Project ID in the current environment. How can we hide the source code? What do you mean? Do you mean how I am hiding or blurring it, or something else? Okay, Cloud SDK. Now, no one can inspect the element. That's not possible. Everyone can inspect the HTML elements. You can change it, or you can hide the information. You can encrypt the information, but they will still be able to see the HTML elements. So inspection of HTML elements, you can't ignore that. If that makes sense. console.cloud.google.com. I don't know why it doesn't open. Just loading and loading and loading. So I'm not really sure if you're gonna be able to go ahead on this one. But we'll see. Which font is being used? I really like the font. Is it the same as I think it's the same probably as Exalidraw, I think. But I really like it. Let's see, computed font family architect's daughter. Architect's daughter. Is that an open source form or font architect's daughter? It's a Google font. Okay, interesting. Ooh, I like it. Latin. Do they have Urdu here? Uraria. But they do have Arabic. Interesting. All languages. Cool chess. Yeah. Okay, finally. So we do have it. Give me 1 second. And quickly say this. And then what is the project ID? Project ID. Oh, okay. It could be. I understood now. It could be that because I'm not running this into another one. Okay. Okay, my bad. I just had to do it in another tab. Let's do it like this. So the tab I was running it was wrong. Should be fine now. Let's see if I can go and refresh. All right, let's hope this works now. I don't see any error, which means it should be fine. No, I see the error now. That's not fine. Unable to detect the project ID. Okay, visit get started. Let's see if I can see that. I'm gonna be back. Just getting some water. Still not open. Mr. Mad, hey, how's it going? Mr. Mad says, hey, how do you usually structure a Git workflow like branching, merging when you work on your own side projects? Usually, previously I used to do the, what do you call it? The develop branch. I think there was an article, Git branching. There was a really good one. I don't know now. Is it okay? It seems like it's gone. Like it was a really famous article. Maybe I can find it. Yeah, I mean, this is the one usually what you follow. I usually now go by having just a main. I don't go with develop at the moment, We usually have for at least for my personal projects. So it's main. You essentially take out feature branches from it. And then once the feature is finalized, then we merge back and then we tag the release. So that's usually what I do, at least for my personal projects. But I think it also then differs in some other projects where I have to collaborate with someone else. Then I usually go with the develop one. So we still have the main as production, which has the Git pipelines set already that when you merge to it, then it just deploys to production. And then we have the develop, which is the active development branch. And then usually you branch off from develop and you don't branch off from main. So you're gonna basically take out the branches. You're going to develop on it. And then finally, once you're done, you merge back to develop. And then when you merge back to main, that's essentially a release, so to say, just like how it's shown here. I'm going to share the link in the chat as well. You guys can bookmark and try it out, etc. Come on, why is this not working? That's not the one I wanted. I want to take out the getting started. I'm going to take out this guy. Please open the link for me. Thank you. So here, no, but I want to have the G cloud indicate using. But we did the auth login, right? Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm doing Google Cloud Auth login. And then I go ahead and set my authentication here. Then it goes back. And then it says something like, okay, you have this link, credential saved to file. Quota projects thread nest.js was added to ADC. Aha, okay. But I think I don't really want that project. So if I say, okay, but I think then this should be able to, I should be able to run now. Npm start. Let's see if this does it this time. If I go to my app now, no, it still says the same thing. Should I be adding my project ID somewhere or no? I think it should be just this. Interesting. Gen-kit interface CLI. That I did not know about. But I want to select a particular app. Select app. I want to see this now. I would say look into hooks. I would say look into this thing called, I think I had a whole Git tutorial video. GitHub and Git explained. I would say look into this. It goes through the whole GitHub and Git crash course. You can see the link right there. So we do application default login. Okay. Hmm. I should probably use this. Or no, I don't really know. If I go ahead and revoke these credentials, let's say we try this again, but we try with revoking first. So let's revoke the credentials. Yeah. And then we do this again. So we do this again. We log in with our user, continue, see the details, etc. Now I'm authenticated. Uh, Okay, but let's see if this works now. I'm going to actually remove the Angular folder. And then we're going to build this again. I don't really think it makes a difference, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see. So now if I go back to my, where's my app? Okay, now we still have the same issue. Okay, then we have this guy. Okay, where are we using Vertex? Here we have it. Okay, let's see. So here we are using Vertex AI. Location is US Central. And this is Gen-kit Vertex AI. Gen-kit AI? Yeah. Gen-kit AI, Vertex AI. How do you use this thing? So you have Vertex AI here. Uh, mm-hmm. It says a lot of things, but let's have a look at the video. This was 2 months ago.
Gen-kit is a framework designed to help you build AI-powered apps installed.
Hello, Peter.
And in addition to the core package, I recommend an import model. The root for that two of things. There is generate output in the expected format. Structured content. Then you can set the default model when creating your Gen-kit instance. Whenever you features in using and configure once. I can now run the app from my terminal using this command in your Kit file generation API. It makes working with different models and even different types of input and output easier by providing a unified API that doesn't require you to learn how to invoke the different models. One call to rule them all. Of course, there is a lot more to building great AI features than just generating step points. Notice how we're now ready all of the individual steps you need to debug one line here. Implementing in your flow allows you can see the input and output parameters. Over to our reporting reg build.
Still doesn't answer the question. So here, I really want to see where we are using exactly. So some like Vertex AI. Okay, so we have a plugin here, documentation here. Thank goodness. So here we have this guy. Okay. Then we go, you can specify in the Vertex AI configuration. Okay, so here we have the project ID. Okay, finally. Google Project automatically set. Okay, so this is the one that I actually want to look into. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna check this out. Where's my Google Authentication console? So here, I want to look into login with project ID or project equals project ID. See, I am logged in now. Okay, now if I do npm start, let's see if that makes it work. Okay, so we go to our application now. And let's see. If it doesn't, then we just need to add a project ID to console or to the code. Okay, so we have an issue here. All right, so then we just add it in the project itself. So we go here via Vertex AI and then we say project ID and then we can just add it. So give me 1 second. And then we can double check if this works. Did my camera die again? Of course it did. Okay, so now you can see that this works. Previously it was not, so I had to take my project ID out of the code, and here we have it. So if I refresh now, let me zoom in a bit. Your primary objective to successfully colonize Kepler and establish a thriving human settlement. Now, why does the image not work? Can we double check here? Permission denied on resource or project, and this is okay. And that is for the image generation, I think. Right. What does this, however, or how do we fix it is going to be my question actually. So if we are here, I think we probably need to just enable those things into our project. So if I go to my project, I think we can go to enable APIs. Mhm, mhm. APIs and services. Do we have to enable services and APIs? Is it image? If I go to Gemini, the API is enabled now. Hmm. So shouldn't I be also looking into the generative? Am I missing something? Let's see. So close this one. This is the local dev environment. That doesn't matter much. The Gen-kit. Close this one. Close this one. Here. Hmm. And this is only if I was working with Gemini. But if I want to, if I really want to work with Vertex in that case. Okay, let's have a look at the developer tooling as well. So if I go ahead and if I say so we got this guy, and then we got, yeah, so here we have the defined prompt here. Okay. And the tools is Poet. This is a bit different than what I implemented. Okay. Okay, so this, okay. So this one has changed a bit. Okay, that's fine. Let's have a look at the Gen-kit CLI. Back. Developer tools. Let's run this actually. We'll see. So we're gonna open this again. Let's run that. Then, okay. Gen-kit start, and then we have this command to run your code. Okay, so here we have. Okay, let's see. If I go ahead and say Gen-kit start, and then if you look at the package JSON, let's stop this guy. Let's actually run Sorry. Gen-kit start o npm start npx. But we installed the Gen-kit CLI, no? Interesting. Let's see. Okay, so Gen-kit CLI developer cookie. Yeah, let's go. And then we got this guy waiting to connect Gen-kit QnA. Okay. Your application must be running in dev mode to access all the feature available here using Gen-kit start or by setting the environment variable Gen-kit env dev. Okay. Okay. If I refresh my application now, how does it align? Okay, so now, no. Okay, so it does load some models. Flows. Okay, so it got interesting. How did it get it? That's cool. So begin story flow, continuous story flow, description flow, and story flow, gen image flow, image block flow. Okay, so all of these flows are here. Now, when we look at the application, the image flow doesn't really work. So let's have a look at why that is. So we looked at gen image flow, right? Context JSON. Can we check the logs though? Traces. So here it is, right? So we have gen image flow, which is this one. The output is nothing. It succeeded though. Let's go back. So in here, you see gen image flow has vertex image and fast, but it doesn't really enable. So here it says permission denies on resource this type consumer invalid. Okay. And this is exactly the error that we got. I think it could be because I'm not really using it correctly. It could be. If I say imagine, I think vertex AI is probably not enabled for my. Okay. Vertex probably isn't enabled. No, it is enabled actually. Library. Imagine. No. But vertex should be enabled. Let me quickly have a look. Why is it not working as intended? Okay. Conference patch generator cost. Hey, data dev, how's it going? Let's have a look. Enable imagen on vertex API. How do we enable it? Vertex AI Studio request access. Okay, so here, no. Person and face generation. I don't think so, but it seems like it requires access. Okay. Planning on learning Vim for the 1000th time. Yes, I think I've tried switching from and to it quite a lot of times, and to the point that now actually my Neo Vim configuration is broken. I think it should be here. No, not here, maybe. See? So if I go ahead and go with focus Doro, maybe. Let's see how this looks like. So here you see fail to find executable tmux. I don't have a clue of why I'm doing. Let's see if I actually can make it work. So if I do, wait, that's not too bad. I could actually use it. Wait, what happened here? Yeah, so you can see a bunch of Lua things are failing. Yeah. Hope I find how to exit it. Exactly. I've been good. Thank you. I'm okay. How about yourself? So if I try it, I think I should still be able to generate it. So let's see if I'm using Imagen 3. Dog mode is public. That's fine. Prompt is a required thing. Okay. Generate an image of a happy developer. The happiest you can imagine. Exaggerate. Let's see. Let's see what it does. If it does it here, then oh, I must give it. Nice. I like it. These two look the same, kind of different. The hairstyle seems to be a common pattern, so to say. Not too bad. But then why do I not have... What is the location of this cloud thingy, or where am I running this? If I can figure that out. Give me 1 second. I think you can probably run the exclamation clap. That probably works. Restream chat. Restream bot desktop. I would probably still have to run the app, assuming it's not running. Yeah, that would have to be run. Oi, but where is my where is my data? That's not cool. What happened to all my data? This is supposed to have persistent data actually. And it should not have deleted all those things. Interesting. What happened to my sounds? Let's see if I can make this alive again. What was it? Control Alt 5. So Control Alt 5. Clap. Data is right there. Exactly. Clap, clap. Sound effect. And we had scream. Scream. Control Alt 4. Wait. Control Alt 4. Scream. That should be fine. Let's see. There we go. But why did it go away? That doesn't seem right. Anyways, let's have a look. In here, I'm going to restart my I'm going to restart this again. And let's actually go to, where's my app? Here. Let's quickly refresh this so it can capture this as well. Okay. Retrace history. 7:55 p.m. That's actually right now. 10 generate the image in is still not happening, but this was 55. Retry. Did it do it? No, I don't think so. If I go to traces again, session ID, I don't see the logs here. I see the logs here actually. Permission denied, consumer invalid. Let's see. Let's see. So I could actually go and say image in, is it image in 3? Around the little project name, I had to use the project ID, which is aha, project ID and not project number. That could be the reason. Chicken tikka masala. How's it going? This looks great. What does it do? We're looking at the Firebase Gen-kit, which essentially allows us to create agentic flows. So we're looking into this example from one of the streams from Angular that actually showed this application. We are right now trying to make it work with image in 3, and it seems like we're not doing a great job at that. And we just figured out that what we should be using is not the project ID, but the project sorry, not the project number, but the project ID. So I'm going to quickly try to fix it using the right information. So give me 1 second. This is the ID that we should be using. So if I go back to my project, no, what was it? I think in the flows here. So we are using the project ID. This is what it should be. So I'm going to save it. Let the application restart. Okay. We'll try it now again. So we refresh the app. Let's see if the project ID fixes it and we actually generate some images. So we got the gen image flow here. We got a 200, but we got an empty result. In here, now it says cannot read properties of undefined map. So we have some other issue and not what we had before. So progress. Hey. All right, so let's see what we went with this time. So we got this. Input was this. What was the output? No output available for this step. Why? Could it be something related to caching? Can we have a look? So let's do a removal of the Angular project, and then we run the same thing. We're gonna remove this for now, and let's see if I go here and refresh this guy as well, so we can see what kind of models are available as well. Okay. So we go to traces. We still have the issue with this, and we still have the issue with this as well. We still got the error here as well. I'm wondering what we could be doing wrong here. So we do have the project ID here. We're using the Vertex AI. Maybe the location is not correct. I'm not really sure. If I go to my project, what location am I using actually? How do I check that? Okay. Uh, 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 uh. Hmm. We have agent garden as well. Interesting. Data science, blah blah blah. Let's not go too much into a tangent. So here we do have, okay, so here we do have these things, model observability. Okay, so we have US Central, at least, that we are trying to use, and I think which is the only one that we have enabled. Okay, I'm gonna try to enable all the recommended ones, and let's see what happens. I think that could be the reason. That could be the reason why this is not going well. I didn't see a log. Let's see. Okay, so that's done. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this actually works this time. Basis. No, we still got the error. Imagine fast generate 001 format media. Create a picture of this guy. Hmm. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can Google this. So Imagine 3, but that's not the one. Imagine 3 Vertex AI. I think this is the one. Yeah, we got this one. When Imagine wasn't fails to generate any predictions, the error is obscure instead of throwing a reasonable explanation. So this is an error which is, or this is something that has been there, or it's open with this example. What actually try to see if multiple people have reported this. Let's have a look at these issues. This is not really, I think, too much of an issue, but this one, let's have a look. Imagine 3 fast prompt coach prompt media. Okay, I was running exactly the same issue today. Is there any way to work around this? Prevent the type error changing the way I call generate. Okay, so it shows that the image then would not be generated with a weird Interesting. So let's see, image in 3. So here we have the prompt here as well, right? What if we just go ahead and replace this thing with saying generate an image of cat playing a piano. Okay, let's try this now. Does it generate it? Okay. Yeah, so that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. Oh, okay. Not too happy with it though. Yeah, same issue. Working with a live stream, trying out the project. I can also link the project as well, which is the prompt in the repository did not work well. I think what could help here would be setting the safety filters. Could be. So generating images and safety here. So we have safety filtering, block, most strict blocking. Here I can say block none. So let's put back the prompt. And here we can say safety. No, it's not here. I think it's here. Safety. Wait a second. Format. What is happening here? So AI.generate. But this is not the one. Sorry. Image in fast. Now this one has to have then a different image generation flow. Okay, I don't like it now. So if I go with this approach, then I have to have the generate method giving me generate options. Or if that's not there, then generate common config schema. Where does this come from? Gen-kit AI. So here we have version, max output token, stop sequence, temperature, safety. Do we have safety here? No. Policy? No. How do we... Let's see if we can Google that. So Gen-kit. This is which one? Gen-kit AI. Gen-kit AI generate safety options. Want to check safety here. Nay. Responsive. Nah. View docs. Image and models here. Web. No, but then when we are actually getting the image in here, do we have the possibility to say dot? Okay, so we have config here with config. Okay, there we go. So we do with config and then we provide an object. There we go. And here we say block fewest. There we go. This should make everything work. Oi, did not. Okay, let's have a look at the traces. Generate. Failed precondition. Emission failed with the following. The problem could be submitted. Block none safety setting is currently allow list. Block none safety setting is currently an allow list only feature. Please check your current safety setting value or contact your Google representative to request allow listing. Oi, what does that mean? It feels like, no. I don't want that. Okay, block few maybe. Block few. Let's see. Let's see if you can do it this time. Please do it this time. No, it definitely did not. Now we have a map issue. So if we go from few to fewest or something like this, I think it doesn't really work. So few most, few blocks, block few, block fewest, block some. I don't know, block some. Oh, did that actually generate it? I think it did. No, it did not. Hmm. But what was that? There was a green one that happened before. Imagine. I thought I saw a green Imogen, or maybe it was of the cat. That's not the one. Back. This one. No. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So if I go here with block fewest block, it doesn't still, or it tries to generate it, but it doesn't end up generating it. See, so here we have the same thing. Failed precondition. Now I can say vertex AI failed precondition. Hmm. Hmm. Aha, okay. Okay, let's try the image. So here we have science fiction. How many characters are there? One. What is the character's name? Angular Man. Next question. You can also enter any changes. What are Angular Man's special abilities? Can create or can change the shape of anything with desired angles. How about that? Weaknesses? None. What obstacles and villains are in their way? Uh, Zones. Could you describe corporation security forces zones? Uh, let's say field of magnetic waves that slow Angular man down. Yes. Okay, good. Let's see if the images are generated now. No, they're not. Sad. Let's see if I can see the traces here. Okay, so what was the prompt here? The block request. I'm not gonna then send anything here. Let's remove. But I added this. Angular man. Now the images are being generated. Interesting. Okay, so here we can say goes to a planet full of life. Full of life. However, the life is threatened by an evil warlord named Zones. He wields his staff to generate a magnetic field, slows down everyone, especially Angular man. The only way out is his pocket weapon named Signal. Let's see if this allows it. What are the characters trying to emulate? What is their primary objective? To help the life on the planet get rid of Zones. Mr. Zones. Give them some credit at least. There. 2. Angular man and Mr. Zones. Can pick anything to make it a weapon with desired angles. Can't bear magnetic zones. Let's see. He has a magic staff that can generate immense magnetic fields. Does he have any special weaknesses? Can't have. Okay. Can't eat apples. No. Does he have a special weakness? What could it be? Doesn't like water. No bathing. Tony Stark says, hi bro, is there a tutorial to start with agents? I think there's a nice tutorial from Microsoft, I think. But I can just have a look. Give me 1 second. I'm in the zone at the moment, so to say. And with that, I can say, let's not do that. Okay, so sorry. Let me go back here. So what are signals? What is signals? Angular man's pocket weapon capable of penetrating any magnetic field. Let's see. Are there any other obstacles or challenges Angular man faces besides meteor zones and magnetic fields? Nope. That's all. Okay. Are you satisfied with the story background as it stands? Yes. Okay. So we do have now. Let's say it's a superhero comedy. Okay, let's go with this superhero. A planet far, far in the space, being full of life. Let's see. Yes. So now we go and we say update story. Let's see what happens. I also want to monitor how much does it cost from the perspective of the project itself. Protect CI dashboard. No, maybe we can go to the project overview. Compute, view all products. Code overview. Requests per seconds. We do have some of them. Let's have a look. All right, so we got one thing here. And we got the story here. Liberate Geometria from Mr. Zone's oppressive rule. Ooh, hui. In the year 2342 light years beyond, the Xylus Nebula where Captain Eva, Rostova, and Yax navigated Stardust Drifter. Another drama unfolded. Angular Man, a hero known throughout the cosmos, arrived on a vibrant planet of Geometria. Lush alien flora carpeted the landscape and its inhabitants. The cuboids bustled with peaceful energy, but a dark shadow loomed. Mr. Zones, a tyrannical warlord, had enslaved the cuboids with magnetic staff. Angular Man's mission was clear. Okay. What happened here? His primary objective: liberate Geometria from Mr. Zone's oppressive rule. Okay, now these images are not being generated. How do we fix that? And now the problem is, if I lose this, I lose everything or all the story, and that I don't really like. I think we could still have essence of a story. Okay, do not use any words indicating violence or profanity. Return a string. Okay, violence. So here there are some things, right? Violence or profanity, or not considered safe for responsible AI. Okay, let's update that at least. Now I have to start with my story again, and I hate that. It's at least trying to generate some images. Let's try this again. Now the image is not generating, so we need to work around the image and security stuff, but I think we should not by default since it's there for a reason. So it would be interesting to get some ideas from the Google team on this one. Let's also see the traces as well. Let's have a look at the prompt. What does it say? Create a picture of two figures cloaked and weary, trudge through a blizzard in a vast snow-covered mountain range. Faint ethereal blue symbols glow on ancient stone markers, visible beneath the drifts, hinting a hidden path. In the distance, swirling shadows gather, a visual representation of approaching danger. It should be in a photorealistic style. Do not include any words or models. models in this image. Interesting. Um, hmm. Okay. Image, or keep the image, or don't include any violence or profanity. Okay. I think this one is probably missing. Let's see. Let's see if that changes anything. I'm interested now. No. So it still sends the request and then it still fails. Okay, what I want to do now is use it like this. Let's see. Nope. Picture based on this description. I would say maybe do it like this. I want to refresh and see. Faces. Okay, so all three of them could not be generated. Interesting. Let's actually remove this guy. No. No. Okay. Hmm. Okay. It should be safe for work. It should be what do you call it? Should be ethical based on AI standards. Let's see. Nope, doesn't work. A cat in a box. I think the problem with the model itself is it's really probably too complex, or the situation that we have at hand is really complex. I don't know if we should if we should consider that as a problem, or we should just go ahead and leave that part, so to say. Because when we go with For example, when we create the story, I think it's give the character's choice rating of good, bad, or neutral in terms of the helping. Hmm. No. Okay. So here you see, write a storyteller leading. Okay, you are a storyteller leading interactive story game similar to Dungeon and Dragon, or Dungeon Master in the game of Dungeon Tracker. The story should have a type such as fantasy, science fiction. So it should also have a setting such as a magical forest, outer space. In the story, the character should be trying to accomplish a primary object. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna remove this Dungeons and Dragons thing. I mean, it's okay, but I don't really want to limit it. Nah. I would say use easy English. Let's see. Hook says, is it best practice to override the framework properties by using CSS important properties with Bootstrap, Tailwind, or any other UI framework to make the UI responsive? Yes, it is a bad practice. Bad practice. The humidor hung heavy in the Zentorian jungle, says Anya. The team's botanist swatted away a persistent insect. This image got generated. Those ones, not really. Hmm. I want to try what was successful. This one was successful, right? I'm going to run it again. Run. Run. Da, 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 da. Let's see. So here it generates this image. In the app, it also generated something similar. If I open it like this, okay, so this is what it generated. That's a really nice image, by the way. This one is a bit different, but this is nice. But this is too big as well. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Now we have a problem here because at one end, I really want to show how unique this whole process is, or that we could create something similar. But at the same time, I don't really want this to be too complex, if you understand what I mean. So it's a bit of a struggle. I'm gonna change the camera's battery because it died. But what I'll also do is let's actually create where are you? And zoom in. Here we go. So what I'll also do is I'll try to ask it to, so we have a bunch of flows here, right? We've got a description flow, we've got story detail, we got a story output, we got a begin story flow. We have a bunch of flows here. And essentially we are also storing this here in the JSON session store. And this guy here is just saving this into undefined return session store, session ID. What I also want to do, maybe, I don't know, let's just probably use, let's maybe also use local storage, to be honest, because I don't really want to leave this. So let's say const from storage equals you can say JSON dot JSON dot parse local storage dot get item story data, or we say what? We say this. Okay. From storage. And then here we say this, if not this dot session store. Wait, just session store. By the way, session store, what is it? Here. So we have this as an empty object, right? So what we'll do is we'll say, I'm thinking actually. Let's actually try to save that story data. We say session store session ID. So we essentially get that, but what do we save there? Session data. What is the type of session data? ID state threads. Interesting. Okay. So first of all, we say if from storage or no. We can do it like this. We can say or we can do it like this. We can say JSON.store get item this guy. If from storage, then we say session store session ID equals from storage or JSON.parse. From storage, and then we basically return that back. Okay. Else return defined, that's fine. But once we do so, we also save it as well. So we say local storage dot set item, and then here we say session underscore store session ID, and then we set JSON stringify session store session ID. Let's at least save that so we don't really lose that. It seems like we are just regenerating like a bunch of things here and there. Local storage is not defined. Okay, because it's also trying to do the server side stuff as well. If local storage in global this, then do that. And the same goes for this guy as well. Wait. What did I do? Does it make it fix? Okay, good. Now if I go here and try to see my session ID, hopefully, application, refresh, no. So here it says retrieve the sunstone from whispering woods and restore balance to their blah, blah, blah. If I make it like this, then do I store that or no? I don't. Why is that? Why is that? Okay. Interesting. Hmm. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to actually go to flow.ts, which does not seem to be found here. Why is that? Test. Next question. Flow.ts. Nope, I don't see it. Okay. Okay. I think the problem here is that, yeah, we are trying to run this. We're trying to actually implement this on the backend side. And that's not what we want. Because the flows.ts is not on the front end side, I think. Flows. It's probably on the backend. Yeah, in the server. Kind of makes sense. Let's go with Klein. I'm going to try to get it to work with Gemini. So flows.ts, replace the usage of local storage with writing a file. Okay, let's do that. Hopefully that works as well. Okay, I'll also say make sure this file is in a folder and the folder is git ignored. Okay, good. So we implement it. I don't want to spend too much time on fixing this, so let's quickly do that. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. Wait, dir name is not found. Why is that? I want to restart my servers. Let's see. Um, Close this. Okay, that's not good. So let's say we go with start a new task. I think we would have to import it from somewhere. Yeah. Okay. From path. It is still in plan mode, but it seems like it's executing. Interesting. But we have the file at least working. So let's see if I go back to my application now. We should have some sessions created. Okay, so we got some errors. That's good. Do we have the folder created though? Where were we creating it? dir name dot dot slash. So outside of source, but called sessions, right? If I look at here now, I still don't see the sessions folder. Let's see if I can find it still. Or it could be that okay. Aha, okay. I think I know what's happening. So if I go here and if I do cd dot dot, it's not here. Okay. Hmm. Where is it getting where is it getting the SSR stuff from then? Aha, maybe. Okay. I think maybe the changes were not yet done. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So we got the file name. We got the directory name. Then we got the sessions directory path. Then towards the end, we should make the directory, ensure the directory exists, and then the file content as well. Here we should also have console log, session saved. Then we have this guy right here. So we get the file path. But we don't really do okay. No, it seems okay to me. Let's see. Let's remove this guy. Let's remove this guy. And now we try again. Refresh. So sessions saved now. Where is this being saved? I don't see the sessions folder at all. Or is it is it removing it or what? Where is it saving it? Let's see. Save. So file path, get session file path ID, sessions dir. It writes to the file path, file content. I also want to see the file path and file content. Okay, and I also want to see this same thing as well. So here, retrieve the sunstone from the heart of the forgotten jungle. Okay. Oi, go back. Save this. Do we get some error now? No, so it's actually saving it. That's good. That's not too bad. The thing is, I don't really see the folders. That's what's confusing me. Okay, but what is the file? So session saved in. That's why. So it's actually saving in the temporary path where Angular is running. That makes sense. So here we have them sessions. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. But if I refresh the page, it creates another session. That's a problem, right? Or no? Or is it? Because it seems to create a new session all the time. What is the ID? Okay, so the session's dir, it then requires the session ID that it takes from. I mean, then we would have to probably implement a front-end solution as well, that we would then have to create the session ID, right? So we have the sessions folder. That kind of makes sense. Then session ID. So here we have the session ID that comes from where? Begin story flow. This comes from the front end, and we don't really store session ID anywhere, I think. That's why. If we start searching session ID and look at story ID here, so you can see in here, we start with the random ID. Yeah, exactly. So here we need to have that somehow. Okay, we're not going there. But I'm gonna, when I'm working on this as a tutorial, I think I could look into that. That would be fun. Okay, we finally have the video coming in. So let's see if I can get the link. Okay. Let's see. And then we can open, because I need to also put this tutorial out there. Let's see if I can copy pasta stuff from here to here, because it has the timeline and whatnot. And let's download this guy. So my internet is going to be a bit slow. but I think we can still wrap this up. Bro, once you complete the work, please try to reply my email. Is there a reason to hide my name? You will know after reading it. What are you getting me into? Okay, I think I can respond right away if you're still watching. I would suggest to look into the web dev tutorial if you have not already looked into it, and then start applying to jobs via LinkedIn. So start looking for jobs via LinkedIn job portal. So go there, try to write, I don't know, web developer jobs or something, and then look at what kind of interviews they're trying to do. And for that, you need a really strong portfolio. So you need to have projects to show, and that is really important. Also, try to make connections with developers who are already, for example, uh, in different companies that you're trying to apply for. Just make, I mean, natural connections with them. Don't spam them. But once you have them as your LinkedIn connections, then you can also start posting about the projects that you're working with. So do that on a regular basis. Whatever you're working on, just share with everyone for them to see. And I think that's the best thing that you could do, to be honest. Apart from the other things, I don't really think I can help in any other way than just to tell you that it takes time and it takes efforts to build something, and it's not going to be fast. It's going to be super slow, but you need a lot of things in your portfolio, and you need to have connections as well. Hmm. All right, let's see when this gets done. And I think just towards the end, I would also still want to look into the code itself. I think the code itself is not probably as complex, to be honest. It's really easy, and I think that's what I like about Angular as well. It's like really easy to get started. There are not a lot of lines of code, to be honest. It's like really simple, but the way it's coded, of course, is also super interesting and nice as well. But the idea is that it's really easy to work with this whole application. I think the what I'll try to do is I'll get in connection with with the GDE team and see if I can work up with something that's also a bit interesting as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to share something apart from that as well, which is what was it? Share.Gemini? No, give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can this. I want to create a quick video about this as well. Let's see if I can do that right here. Yeah, I don't really know what to tell you, man, because I mean, I personally don't take stress as much. Alhamdulillah, I look into what I look into what's practical, and I also look into, because every when you stress about something, you're essentially stressed about if you're gonna get something or not, or if you're going to get something that you don't really want to have. And if you truly believe that whatever happens for a reason and happens by the will of the creator, then yeah, you're not stressed at all. You just focus on doing your best. So yeah, I don't really know what to tell you in that manner. I would say just take some time to reflect. Take some time to see what you're doing. Talk to someone who's in close relationship with you, and then take it from there. That's the best I can say. All right, while this is being downloaded, I'm quickly gonna start creating this video so we can share this as well. And maybe I can do something like this. Can I open it? All right. We're gonna create a quick video around this, and we'll see then how we can take this forward. Okay. So let's see if I can switch it. Vertical cam scene. That's not the buttons I want to look for. Hello, test 1 2 3. Okay, let's see if everything works. Good. Hello, test 1 2 3. Good. It also looks nice. Okay, so we can maybe start. Okay, right. And I also need to have this a bit in as well. Alrighty. So we start. Let's quickly fix that a bit. Well, okay. Let's see. But I got inspired by someone, and I'll see if I can find the saved jobs. Shazim Nasir says, "Hi, bro. How do you get motivation and the time to do so much job? YouTube, LinkedIn, many other playpen I see you on. What is playpen? I think there's no such thing as lack of time. It's just about priorities. So I don't know where where you spend your time on. I try to spend time on the things that I think are valuable or I give priorities to. So I think it's just a matter of priority, to be honest. Post and activity. Where do I find my saved posts? Where do I find them? I think it's on the profile page. But for example, it's Saturday. I could go out. I don't know. Not partying, because I don't do that. But maybe I could go out to play video games, or I don't know, go to mall for some window shopping and whatnot. I don't do that. I as you know, I have things to do. So I spend time on the things that I find prioritized, or I prioritize for myself. So you can do the same as well. And then also I have a very understanding wife, alhamdulillah. So she understands and she helps me with the things that I can't do. Where is the project that I saw a couple of days ago? It was no, what is the name of the guy? I can try to find who has if I say Google, can I find the people who I know who work there? So people. Let's see. No, the people who I have actually first connections. Why can't I remember the name of the person who I have in my mind? Can I say how many people I know? No. Nope. And we have 79 of those. Can't I remember? If I go to my page, I would probably look at the person for sure. Not joking. Okay, let's try to find it by Gemini. Let's try to find by Gemini Canvas. Try to find that. 4 weeks, okay. Hmm. 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 Gemini retro, not retro. Oh, I can't find it, and I need to find it so I can also give them credit as well. 1 month, no. Or boss code project, interesting. Let's Google it. Gemini retro game. I think that's the one. That's not the one. Not the one. Let's do it like this. Dremel prompt engineering game. Ah, this is the guy. Itaru. Yes, that's the one. So I hope I can find the LinkedIn post. Video toys by teammate Aaron Wade. Okay. Good. Okay, so we have starter apps. Interesting. Generate an interactive learning application from YouTube content. Okay, interesting. Super interesting. Hmm. Hmm. I can maybe link the post here. I think let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so we'll start. Move this guy, and then we have this. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we start with this. Okay. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, I saw this really cool post from Pitaru on X that talks about using the prompt engineering guide that was basically published by Google to create a retro application for learning how to do prompt engineering. And it was really inspirational for me. And I wanted to do the same thing, but in my language, which is Urdu. So this is how it looked essentially in the end. You can see that we can just paste the PDF and ask the Gemini canvas to do that. And it uses behind the scenes the 2.5 Pro, and I can show you what I built with this. So this is the prompt engineering guide that includes a lot of things, including how you should give instructions to the prompt or in your prompt as well, how you should be clear about what you're doing as well. So there are a lot of things that go inside here, but I think the best way to learn is to do it yourself and also to experience as well. So this is what it looks like. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this into Blooper. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this, and if I show you what I did is just uploading the PDF right here, then you can see that I went through a couple of prompts like create a retro style game in Urdu that helps people learn better prompting based on the guide. And then also there were some iterations, for example, adding some hints as well, because by default it just created something that did not have any hints. So I added some hints as well, and then also increasing the font size as well, and then basically creating some more content blooper, but then also creating some more questions as well. So you can see that the chat is not really long, but let's see what it came up with. So here it says prompt master game, and those of you who don't blooper, those of you who don't really understand Urdu. So for example, here I can say start the game. And in here now it says, this is the situation. What you want is that AI is going to write the code for a particular thing. And here you can see write a Python function. If you give this prompt, then this is wrong. Now it asks you to find the issue with this prompt. Either there's no role defined, or it's not specific, or the purpose is unclear. For those of you who understand Urdu or Hindi, you can essentially see the version here as well. For example, कोई किरदार मुतय्यन नहीं है, काफ़ी वाज़े नहीं, या मकसद वाज़े नहीं. And then we have ishara or hint right here, and you can find the hint by just clicking this. And now you can see that out of 3, only 2 of the hints are remaining. So here it says, if I translate it into English, it essentially says, you need to tell the function what it should do, what input it should retrieve, what output should be there as well, and then which language, right? And then it also says you need to provide it instructions that you need to code as an expert programmer as well. So you need to also give it instructions as well. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. I need to take this call. Test 1 2 3.
Okay.
Okay, I think we can continue now. Let's see. Where is it? All right. Resuming in 3, 2, 1. Now it says here that you can submit your answer. So for example, if I select it, it says, please select a problem to submit. And then I can go here and say, we can say no role, for example. We can also say not specific enough. So let's go with this. And then I can submit now. Oi, interesting. Now this is what happens sometimes. So you see what's happening. Interesting. So we have a bug. Let's see. Okay. Let's do this again. Resuming in 3, 2, 1. So now we are going to submit this and we can select not specific enough. Ooh, that also doesn't work. And now we can say no role or purpose unclear. No, that doesn't also work. Let's inspect it. Why is that? Start time must be strictly greater than the previous time. Source TS in TS. That's not the one. Aha, it could be. Interesting. Why do we have that? So we go here. No, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Here, this one. So let's try to see why that's the case. So if I say now it works. No. Okay, you see, so there was some issue. What was the issue? Content security policy of your site blocks some resources. Okay, so that could be it. Well, what if I go and try this out here? Okay, so I can maybe try share. Let's try this. Refresh. But why does it do it in the first one? Or maybe, okay, so if I do the same thing here, click here. Okay, so that's a problem. And then it breaks. Okay, then we would have to stop the recording because it makes no sense. So we do have some bug here. Okay, let's see. When we have the question about this, we select, no, we first show or click the show hint button and then select not specific enough and then click the submit button. It plays a long tone sound and then nothing works. So submitting, nothing works. Okay. Submitting doesn't work. Clicking the, we can also select the text here as well. Okay, something is really weird. It seems like we have some sort of a infinite loop or something. Do you see how slow my whole thing is working? So we probably have some kind of infinite loop or something. I don't know. Okay. Clicking the end game also plays the same long tone. Let's see if we can it can figure it out. I'm going to see the console as well. So nothing here. That's fine. In the meantime, I'll also try to upload the content as well. So create, upload. Then we can also upload this guy as well. So it's going to be a bit slow for my internet, but I think it's fine. Okay, so what does this do now? Has it found the issue? It's going to be interesting. Okay, so this is done. Let's see if I can refresh this. And also, let's have a look at the code as well. So what did it fix really? So debugging steps, identify the relevant code. Okay. Issue occurs after clicking submit issue button. Relevant function is handle submit issue. The sound playing like correct sound or incorrect sound. The freezing suggested infinite loop, unhandled error, or an issue with the subsequent UI updates. I think it's infinite loop. So it analyzed it. It gets selected the radio button, checks if the radio button was selected, say true, disable the submit button, hint button, disable the radio button, compares the selected value, blah, blah, blah. Hypothesize the cause. Sound issue. The correct sound and incorrect sound cause freezing. Unlikely the ToneJS user handles well. Edge case or conflict. Okay. UI update issue. There's an error when trying to set maybe the element ID is wrong or element even listener is shoe. Infinite loop. Error in this. Unlikely. Error in sound definition. The long tone is suspicious. Maybe tone now is causing an issue in specific sequence. Could be. Conflict with hint button sound. User click the hint button first and then submitted correct sound and could be okay. So it tested potential fixes. Simplify sound. Correct sound calls within the so freeze is okay. If it doesn't freeze, the issue is likely sound related. Reinitialize synth. Okay. Check tone.js context. Okay. Let's try adding tone start and simplifying the sound calls. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here it says that issue might be related to tone.js audio context. Okay. So it has put a try catch maybe. Okay, it sounds like there's a bug related to sound playback. Tone.js or subsequent UI updates when submitting the issue after using a hint on specific question. The long tone often indicates the issue with the audio context or synthesizer not releasing correctly. I'll try the following to fix it. Okay. Refine the sound triggering, adjust how the sounds are called slightly to ensure they're completely proper. They complete properly. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so this is the same function or no, this is not the same function. No. No. Nope. No. I want to try the same thing actually. So we don't really get, and this is random, so it's going to be fun to see. If Jane has 5 apples. Quantum physics. No. My camera died as well. No. Maybe we can go with this one, but I want to go with the Python question. I'm going to replace the battery in the meantime as well. Okay, so that's the one. How can I write a Python function? Let's quickly zoom in. So here we did first hint, right? Then we said jama masla jama karwaएं, and then we said purpose unclear, I think, or not specific enough. I think this one was the one that we picked. And then we say, so that's the same issue. But it does not then calculate it. I'm I want to check the memory allocation or okay. I think it should be still. Let's reload it. This one works fine. Okay, so this also does the same thing. Let's see. Okay. Can I just pick this? No, where is it? Okay, I'm gonna have to look into this. But I think we can wrap the stream for today. We have been online for about 3 hours now. So let's wrap it up. And I think I'm gonna continue working on the video upload. So let's wait for that. But thank you everyone who joined today. It was fun. We look into a couple of things related to AI. I have some ideas on what to work on next, and I think that's more than enough.